Hi guys, so I'm back at it again and just making a video for tomorrow's I guess today's CF exam. So it's basically a quiz, and I think we'll be allowed to use the formula sheet. I think even for the midterms, we'll be allowed to use the formula sheet because it's mostly about applying the concepts and not about mugging up the formulas. So mostly what you have to do is understand which formula goes where and how to interpret each question. And like basically, if you can map out the cash flows, half of the TVM sums are done, right? So let me share my screen and show you how to uh, calculate everything, right? So firstly, I'll talk about the formulas, then I'll go to some things in the book. So I think Sir has also shared this study material, so you can go through this if you want, but I don't think most people will have time. But I'll just go through the formulas first, and then we can discuss more things, right? So let's get started quickly. I hope you can see the screen, right? So the first case that I'm discussing here is case number 3, which is basically a very basic case of future value. So basically what is future value is that today you have 10,000 rupees and you have to calculate the future value of 10,000 rupees after 5 years, right? So what you basically do is multiply that with the one, that like the rate whole to the power n. So it's like amount into 1 plus r whole to the power n. That will give you the future value. Excuse me, I have a cold, so that's why I might be coughing. Okay. So future value, how do you calculate that? So for example, if the rate is, let's say, 8%, so you can go to calculator and 1.08 into equal to, and you don't have to do into 1.08 every time. You can just keep clicking on equal to. Okay. So what you can also do is like, so first one is 1.08 into equal to. So this gives you 2 times 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this gives you the rates. It's 1.4693, whatever. Yeah. So that's the 5th time. So how you can see is that here on the top, you'll see the counter of this number of steps. It shows 6 here. So because you put multiplied, that's why it shows 6. Anyways, you can, for smaller numbers you can count, for bigger numbers you can just see the counter there. So anyways, this is a very basic thing. One important thing to note over here and is that, let's say the rate of interest is 12%, okay, and the n given over here should always match with the rate. So for example, if it's per annum and the rate is also per annum, that's completely fine, you can put it directly. But if your rate is if your period is given per quarter, okay, and the rate is 12%, okay, so beta बताओ एक quarter में कितना होता है? Yeah, so it's not 30 ml, okay, those saying 30 ml, it's not 30 ml. So basically for a quarter, what you do is basically divide it by number of quarters of 4. So if it's 12%, you convert that into per quarter rate. And then you can do it as instead of 1.12, you would do it as 1.03, okay, to the power number of quarters. Okay, so that is clear, I think. Uh, if the future values will always be more because it's compounding. So whatever is the value today, the future value of that will always be more because you're adding the interest. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so the case number 4 is completely the reverse case, and it's, I'm not going too much into it because it's just the opposite. So it's 10,000 tomorrow. You have to calculate the present value today. So that what you have to do is amount into 1 plus r to the power n. It's in the reverse. So it's 1 by 1 plus r whole to the power n. Okay, it's just, you can see that it's just that 1 plus r to the power n has been brought to the this side. So it's in the denominator. So I'm not explaining anything. Also, okay, how to calculate that here? So 1.08, click on divided and then equal to. So this will give you the PVIF. Similarly, you can just keep clicking on equal to equal to equal to, and it will keep calculating for the number of years. And similarly, for 5 years, you'll have to uh, divide it equal to, yeah. So here it will be 7. So whatever, don't worry about that. Tomorrow I think maybe you can use Excel for this. I'm not sure if that will be allowed tomorrow, but I think you can. So for Excel, what you can do is directly go into Excel and put 1.08 to the power. So for to the power, you can use the caret symbol. Okay. So should I show you Excel right now, or wait? I'll show you Excel as well. I can always show you Excel. Like I really love Excel, so it's not never a problem. I'll just share my screen. Okay. So I think you will be able to use Excel tomorrow because it's offline and okay. So for Excel, what you can do is just I'll close these. Black. Okay. So for example, if it's 1.08 and you need to find it for 6 years, so what you do is equal to 1.08 to the power, and to the power is you hold shift and press 6. So it's that caret symbol and then 6, and you can link it as well, this. Okay, so that's how you do it in Excel. I think it was futile showing that because I think most people know that. Anyways, don't save. Yeah, so I'll be back here. Okay, so we have discussed case 3 and 4, and I think that's very easy. Case 1 and 2 are the next things that I wanted to share. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so let's get back to case number 1. So again, case number 1 is regarding annuities. So case number 3 and 4, what we did till now was regarding a single cash flow and finding the future value of that. So again, case number 1 is basically it's a compilation of number of cash flows. So it's called an annuity. If it's the same amount over a period of time, that's called an annuity, and you basically find out the future value annuity factor instead of the future value FEIF. Okay. Okay. So uh, for calculating the annuity factor, basically it's the addition of all the future values. So the direct formula for that is 1 plus r to the power n minus 1 divided by r. So you can just memorize this, or you'll have this sheet, I guess, open. So you can just directly use this. Another formula is this one, which is just the same thing, but just multiplied into 1 plus r again. This is regarding the end of the year. I'm sorry, this is regarding the beginning of the year. So by default, we assume that all cash flows are at the end of the year. But in this case, we assume that it's at the beginning. If it's given specifically in the question that it's at the beginning of the year, you use this formula in red, right? So the questions that can come regarding this is find the fair value, find the annuity amount, find the rate and the period. Okay, so any of these things can be asked. You can just substitute each thing in the formula and you will get it, right? Um, how to calculate FEIF in the calculator? So basically, in Excel, it's really easy. You can just put this thing. But in FEIF, in the calculator, basically, um, this is the same thing that I showed you. Just like we were doing it in case number 3 and 4, you just calculate this part. So for example, if it's 12% and 5 years, so I'll be 1.12 into equal to, and this is 2 years, so 3, 4, 5. Okay, then minus 1 divided by r is equal to, if it's 12% is 0.12 divided by 0.12. So this is how you calculate the annuity factor, and then you just multiply it with the annuity and you'll get the value, right? So this is easy. Okay. So I don't think tomorrow you will need the calculator that much. So I'm not going into this detail that much, right? Um, I'll make a separate video on the calculator thing because it'll be easier if you see a top-down view of the calculator. Okay. In case number 2 is basically the reverse of case number 1, where you bring every annuity to the present value. Okay. So again, the formula for that is this one. And again, for the beginning of the year, it's just the same thing multiplied by 1 plus r. How do you calculate? It's the same thing. Just calculate 1 plus r to the power n, then divided. So again, if it's 12% for 5 years, it will be 1.12 in divided equal to, so equal to this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then minus 1 and then divided by r. Right. So these are the basic things. Now let's come to perpetuity. Okay, this was taught in session number 2. So perpetuity, the formula is this. So to calculate the fair value of any perpetuity, it's annuity divided by r. So the formula is basically, perpetuity is basically if you keep getting the same cash flow for infinity basically. Okay, so in that case, what you do is, if suppose you are getting 100% and for 12% rate, so divided by 0.12, and so the amount will be 833. Okay, so how basically this happens is that the because of the fair value, because of the discounting, even though you're getting an infinite amount of money, that money as it goes along to the future, it keeps getting discounted and discounted, and after that, it's after a certain point of time, that does not have any, like, it's very insignificant. So that's why this formula works. In case there is a growth rate in the annuity, in that case it's annuity divided by r minus g. So here we always assume that the rate of growth is always less than the rate of interest. So for example, if the growth rate is 2% and rate of interest is 8%, you would do annuity, so 100 rupees divided by 8 minus 2, so 0.06. Okay, so that's how you get the amount. Make sure that if the annuity is per year, per quarter, per month, the rate and the G rate is also per year, per quarter, per month. Okay, so that's how you get the better value. Okay, trial and error method. Okay, so this is something that is a little complicated, and perhaps I can show you a solution of the question to show the. So this is the formula. Basically, rate is equal to rate of interest. If you're trying to find out the rate of interest, you use this. So it's the lower rate, the PV higher PV minus a loan amount divided by higher PV minus lower PV. So I'll show you a question that I've solved that will be easier for you to understand. One second. Okay, so let me show you two sums. I think these were done in class itself. So the first question was that value of land was given as 40,000. Installment amount was given as 8213, and the number of installments were 20. And we were required to calculate the rate of interest. Now, the flaw in the formula is that if you don't know the X amount, you can't find out PVIF. So basically how you do that is you take any two rates. Okay, so assume any rate. Generally what we do is you take 10% because the value for 10% is um, easier to calculate. So you can take any rate. So 15% and 25% I've taken in this case. So assume any rate and find out the PVIF using that rate. So for example, here I had taken the rate as 15% for 20 years, and I calculate the PVIFA and multiplied that with the annuity. Okay, so this is the basically the formula. PVIFA formula is the annuity into PVIFA is equal to future present value. Now basically you put 8213 into this PVIFA, that gives you the present value of the cash flow. So this is 51,407, which is a lot more than the value that we want. So we want basically 40,000, and here it's showing as 51,407. Now to decrease the PVIF, decrease the present value, you have to increase the interest rate. Now you could have taken 20%, but because the answer here was close to 20%, so I had taken 25. So if you take 25, you can see that the PVIF falls to 3.9539. Okay, and I multiplied that and got a value of 32,473. One second. Okay, so now basically you've got two values. So one is your 51,000 and 32,000. two values, and you have two rates. So what you do is basically start with the lower rate. So in this case, the lower rate was 15%. So X is the rate that we are looking to find out. So what we do is X equal to 15% plus higher PV. So the higher PV is this 51,407 minus the desired PV. So desired PV is 40,000 divided by higher PV minus lower PV. So 51,407.89 minus 32,473 point whatever. So now if you calculate this and multiply it with the change in the rate. So here it's 25 and 15. So 10 is the change in the rate. So 25 minus 15 is 10. Now you solve this and you'll get the approximate rate of interest. However, this is always approximate rate of interest, right? I have earlier posted a video on like the previous video on Minerva was regarding how to calculate this using Excel. So you can watch that. But when you're solving it pen and paper mode, it's always more desirable to show these steps. Otherwise, you'll not get the marks, right? Uh, Here, the broader your range is. So if you're taking 15 and 25, the more difference with the answer will be from the actual answer. So here I got 21.0248, which is correct. You'll get full marks for this. But if I had taken suppose 18 and 22, suppose it would have been a much more accurate result. So that's how interpolation works. Generally, if you had taken here 10% and 15%, that would also give you the result. But again, the figures would be very messy. Okay. Another question that was done in class was this LED TV question, which was 1,50,000 for LED TV. Installment was 5150, 36 months period, and you have to calculate the rate of interest. So again, the formula for this was 5150 into PVIFA X percent, comma 36. Okay, now note here that the period of was 36 months. So that's why the rate of interest that you issue should be per month. Okay, and the answer that you'll get, that will also be per month. And when you're giving the final answer, you can keep it as per month or put it as per annum. Okay, so the amount was 5150 into PVIFA equal to 150, so 1,50,000. Now again, I've taken two rates. One is 1%, and the other one is I think 1.25%. And using the same formula above, you find out the PVIFA. So again, for 36, now this is important because for 36, I'll just stop sharing the screen so that I can show you full screen how to use the calculator. So for 1% for 36 months, what you can do is 1% is 1.01, right? Now for 36 months, you press into and equal to. So this is for the second year, and you press. So here you can see it's, I don't know if you can see it. So here it's showing 3. So if you keep pressing it multiple times and you keep going until it's 37, I think. One second. So there are two ways. You can either keep counting as you click. So 35, 36, 37, like that way, or you can go directly to 37 because it's 36 period. So let me go equal to. Yeah, so here you can see 37 is showing. So that's my 36th year PVIF. So 1.43 whatever. Right, now let me share my screen again. Share screen. Okay, so you can see that 1% per month, 36. Yeah, so again it's this formula. So this was only the first part. Then you calculate the PVIFA, right? So divided equal to -1 divided by 0.01. So it's again 30 point this. Okay, so you calculate 30 point this and you multiply that with 5150, and you calculate again at 1.25% for 36 months, and you get two present values. Take the lower rate. So here the lower rate was 1%. Higher PV will always be for the lower rate, so 1.25. So higher PV minus value of loan divided by higher PV minus lower PV into difference of rate. So you'll have this formula open, so I don't think it will be a big issue. You just have to make sure that you know how to calculate this PV IFA, right? Yeah, so that's how you calculate it. 1% plus this 14%. So by using the interpolation method, I got this rate as 1.1946% per month. If you take 1.1946 and put it as into 12, you'll get 1.43 14.34%. Okay. Now let me just discuss this part. So this is the PDF that sir has provided, and you can refer to this. It's a good thing if you want a detailed understanding, or if you want a certain topic that you didn't understand, you can always refer back to this, and there are examples that are solved, so it will be helpful. Okay, one table I just wanted to show you guys. Where is it? Yeah, so have this like this in mind, how to calculate the rate, annual, semi-annual, quarterly. So this thing, and continuous. So this continuous thing was e to the power 0.12 minus 1. I don't think he'll give a question on continuous compounding tomorrow, at least he shouldn't, but whatever. Yeah, so you can refer to these solved problems at least, so this will give you an idea. Other than that, there are unsolved problems here that he did give us for homework, and I think if you have done that, that's the best thing. If you have not done that, try a few. That will give you an idea of, because I think tomorrow something like this will come. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for the video. I'm sorry I have just not that well today, but ठीक है, best of luck for tomorrow, and bye bye.